Alright, so I just got out of Ip Man 4, and I'm going to try to talk about this movie without spilling into violent rage. Not because of the movie, but because of the people in the theater of the movie.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
I'm the martial arts film freak, and I saw Ip Man 4, the finale.
Let's welcome Mr. Bruce Lee.
只不過係想將我哋中國功夫發揚光大啫。
身在他鄉為異客，你不在這兒生活，你不懂。我們舊金山的唐人街，就是所有的武館不教洋人武術。還是那句話。 你不在这里生活，也是吧。
Ip Man 4 stars Donnie Yen, Scott Adkins, Chris Collins, Mang Lo, I think, Vanessa Wu, and a bunch of other people whose names I don't believe I know, but they were all great. This film was directed by Wilson Yip, who did, I believe, only the first 2 Ip Man films, and was choreographed by legendary Yuen Woo-ping. I know I said in one video that I would do the review outside the theater directly after the movie, but there was so much going on in the movie that my brain could not process within that 10 minutes what my thoughts were. So it's been 2 days. I'm still in a car. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. There's a dude staring at me, standing just outside the movie theater, and it's weird. Ip Man 4 sees Donnie Yen's Ip Man going to America to find a school for his son, where he also meets up with his old student Bruce Lee, and then also discovers a lot of things going on. I think it's in the San Francisco area, of a lot of turmoil between the Chinese living there and some white people around the area, mostly within the military that Vanessa Wu is in, and a school that the daughter of a master goes to. There's also a heavy part of the story is Donnie Yen's Ip Man's relationship with his son, but honestly, for the most part, most of that takes a backseat to the story of everything going on between the Chinese and the Americans. And much of it in the military part isn't even like, I mean, there's definitely some racism in there, 100,000%. But it is that Vanessa Wu wants to integrate Chinese Kung Fu into military training, and Scott Adkins' character, who is just like his superior, is fully against it. He says karate all the way, which is weird when you think about it, because isn't karate like a Japanese thing, and we're only like, in this movie, we're only like 20 years removed from World War II. And Scott Adkins' character is like super into this Japanese thing. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. It was weird. This character that's clearly kind of racist is not super racist towards this one thing, but much more racist towards this other thing. I don't know. It was odd to me. But before I talk about, I guess, some of the story and structure and acting stuff, I'll just get straight to the fights. I know I usually do it the other way around. I talk about the fights last, but I got a lot more to say about the other stuff. The fights were fantastic, of course. There's a lot of diverse sort of fight scenes you get. You get Donnie Yen fighting one of the other Chinese masters, one of the other Kung Fu masters. So you get his Wing Chun against, I want to say it was the Tai Chi master. So you get this Wing Chun versus Tai Chi. That was a very interesting fight scene. And then my favorite, honestly, wasn't even the final fight, which the reason that probably is because while the final fight between Donnie Yen and Scott Adkins was going on, which should be the highlight, there was some shit going on in the theater that had me a little distracted. But there was a scene where a karate master played by Chris Collins goes and takes on all of the Kung Fu masters, and I thought that was epic. That was awesome for multiple reasons, not just Donnie Yen and Chris Collins, but everyone in that scene I thought was fantastic, and it was probably my favorite of the whole movie. But there was a lot of really good moments in it. There was a lot of weird Karate Kid feelings I had. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. There's a scene where Ip Man saves somebody getting bullied, and that's just a straight up kind of Karate Kid thing. But there was just a couple things going on that I was like, I'm getting some serious Karate Kid vibes. But the fight scenes are excellent. If you're going to Ip Man 4 because you want, you know, the greatness that all of the Ip Man movies have provided in the action, then you're going to get it. And I think maybe in terms of, like, if I had to rate the action between all the other films, I'd probably put this one, I'd probably put it between 3 and 1, which are my favorites. But yeah, that's a good spot to be, because the fight scenes in this movie are amazing. But there's much more than just the fight scenes. I think that previous Ip Man films have been about proving that Chinese Kung Fu is strong, and that the Chinese people are strong, and that's fine and dandy, but it usually just comes down to beating the bully, beating the oppressor, which in 2 of the 3 films is a white man. Actually, no, sorry, take that back. First movie, it's a Japanese guy. Second movie, it's a white man. Third movie, there isn't one. Like, the only foreigner in that movie is Mike Tyson, and really none of it's racism. It's mostly just business. I don't remember much of what Mike Tyson's character did, but I do remember that he wasn't racist. But in this one, you sort of see both sides of it. You get this sort of, you see the ethnocentrism, that's the right word, sort of practiced on both sides. And one side is definitely spurred on by the other, and they even say that. One of the masters sort of says, we can't respect and share with these people who want to bully, belittle, and oppress us. And that, you know, I like seeing both sides, and you don't really understand, you don't get the reason for the racism on the white side, because that's just how it is, racism. It's fuck, people are assholes. But you get why they would want to, you get why the Chinese characters would want to separate themselves from the others that are treating them so poorly. And I wanted it to dive, and it's not going to, because it's a fucking Kung Fu movie, I guess. I wanted it to dive a bit more into sort of stories like that. And it does a little bit with one of the characters, the daughter of another master. It does get a little bit further into developing this sort of relationship between the two groups. And eventually it just comes down to Kung Fu beating karate in the end. So it sort of fell apart right there. But there was one scene that gave me serious Spike Lee Do the Right Thing vibes, when a white character throws a Chinese racial slur at a Chinese character, and it just cuts to this black guy just looking angry and uncomfortable. And it made me think of this moment from Do the Right Thing.
What? Black? Yeah. I'm black. Hey, black. Me black. Why you black? Me black. I'm black. Me. You and me same. We same. Same. Be black. Open your eyes, my. Leave the Korean alone, man. He's all right. Yeah, he's all right.
But aside from, I guess, the sort of ethnocentrism practice on both sides and the lack of, I wanted there to, I don't know, I wanted there to be like this development of some sort of like cultural relativism, and it never went that way. Aside from all that, the storyline with Ip Man and his son, it's sort of ruined by the fact that they're on two sides of the globe. His son is still in Hong Kong and Donnie is in America, and it could be a lot more. And it did well, it did enough, but it didn't do enough for me, I suppose. The Bruce Lee moments were cheesy. They were fun. They were very fun, but God, that was some cheese. There was one scene that made, there was some dialogue that made the people in front of me laugh in the theater, and I completely understood. It wasn't like they were just being like kind of, I don't know, iffy about a Chinese film. The dialogue was bad. It wasn't even that it was bad. The subtitles were bad. Chris Collins at one point, when he challenges the Masters, he says, "Bring on your hokey pokey kung fu." Perfectly fine line. were good. The subtitles said, "Bring on your hanky-panky kung fu." Hokey pokey and hanky-panky don't mean the same thing. That was a poor decision on whoever wrote the subtitles. They should probably be slightly punished for that. But one thing that honestly saved a lot of the storytelling, aside, like as I said, it didn't go places that I wanted it to, but it was an entertaining enough story with the characters, and the reason that is because the characters in this were actually really good. I don't think the side characters in other Ip Man films have ever been anything super interesting. The third one, you at least get a sort of interesting villain in Mike Tyson, and you get Max Zhang, who was interesting enough to get his own spin-off film. Which is very good too, and I appreciate that. And of course, you also get the story with his wife, and the relationship with his wife told through all three of those movies is actually very well done, which makes her conclusion in the third movie so beautiful. And I think they were going for that again with him and his son, and it just didn't do that for me. But the other characters, even the Masters, Vanessa Wu, is it Van Ness Wu? I don't know. But the daughter of one of the Masters, I really enjoyed her character a lot, and her relationship with Ip Man. There was much more interesting stuff going on in the background aside from the fighting. Enough that with that and the incredible martial arts practiced by everyone in this film, the fight scenes were fantastic, incredible, some of my favorites that I've seen of last year, because this movie came out in December. I am probably going to give this one, hard to decide. 7 wooden dummies out of 10. Let's go with 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it a lot. There were some things that I didn't, and not even things that I didn't care for, just things that I wanted to be better and didn't quite get there, but everything was pretty damn good. The fight scene's fantastic, everyone's performance. This may be Donnie Yen's best performance yet. I would probably say within the Ip Man series, of course. But what did you think of Ip Man 4, the finale, the conclusion to Donnie Yen's series of Ip Man films? I would love to say that this is the last Ip Man film we're going to get, but you all know that we're going to get more titled something else, Grandmaster of Wing Chun, something something. This is Donnie Yen's last movie, but they're going to make more Ip Man films that aren't going to be as good. Tell me your thoughts on Ip Man 4 in the comments down below if you have seen it. What did you think of it? What's your favorite scene? Who's your favorite character? What's your favorite fight scene? Because there were plenty to go around. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell icon thingy somewhere. Check out some other videos, tell your friends, and thank you for watching.